Well, good Friday afternoon. Welcome to Chat with Madam with Ass. I just want to have a little chat. Um, I want to chat about some things that have been causing me a great amount of anxiety pertaining to what's going on in the United States today. I'm going to say some things that maybe a few of you listeners might consider to be very far fetched. But just because you believe it may be very far fetched doesn't mean that you're not short sighted. So, here's the gist of my anxiety. I try not to talk about Trump much. I try not to pay attention much as I did during his first administration. There's some things that have been going through my mind, and when things keep coming back to me, when things are tugging at my spirit, when things just won't let me go, I become very anxious. Well, my mind, maybe my imagination has been running away from me, but I don't think so. I don't trust the powers that be. Have you seen Stephen Miller, who is in the Trump administration? If you don't know what a racist looks like, his picture should be right next to the definition of racist in the dictionary. Listen, a lot of immigrants, no matter where they're from, they're being shipped to El Salvador. That president over there is getting paid something like, is it $6 million a month to keep them in prison and build more prisons? How do we know that they're not killing those people like they did the Jews? We don't know. It's evil to send them people over there to begin with. What are those people actually doing over there? Are they being enslaved? Are bunches of people being told that they're taken to some sort of detail they have to be on, never to be seen again, and other prisoners there don't know what's happening, much like the Holocaust? Don't say that's far-fetched. It happened before. Don't be naive to think it can't or won't happen again. Isn't Netanyahu exterminating the Palestinians, executing genocide as we speak? Those who don't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Now, right now, Trump is trying to erase Black history. He doesn't want it taught in schools. He's taking it out of the Smithsonian Museum. This has been a work that has been designed a few decades ago. Don't be lost. So those of you who are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, remember when you graduated high school, remember when the Cosby Show was on. And if you do your research, you will find that during that time period, African Americans enrolled, there was a high enrollment of African Americans because we were being influenced by the Cosby Show. To see a family where the father was a doctor, the mother was a lawyer. That came a long way from Good Times. Even the music, the rap music at that time, up until 89, was constructive and positive. And it was continuing to build upon the pride that was established in us from the 60s. And if we go back to 60s and to the 60s, I mean, we got to go back to James Brown when he found it necessary to record the song, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. We needed to hear music like that. Because those days and prior to, there was nothing really to be proud of when you were black. Come on, y'all. But when we get to the 80s and we start embracing, not that we didn't embrace education before, but we embraced it more in terms of the youth, because we were going and enrolling into colleges by the droves. And the powers that be saw the effect that it was having on Black America. And not just the Cosby Show, not only because of Cosby, I'm not saying that, that's just one of the many influences. But hip hop was a great influence as well. And then when you see that movie of NWA, remember how they were steered to continue and make that gangster rap music? And when that gangster rap music infiltrated hip hop, and then everybody started following that formula, what happened? They injected a cancerous poison into the hip hop community called gangster rap in 1989. At the same time when it broke, the hottest hip hop rapper was, what's his name? MC Hammer. All smiles, can't touch this. We all love the high energy dancing and performances that he gave. Then when you move into like 1991, 92, and he comes out with another album, now he trying to be all hard and gangster. No more smile on his face. It's all a design. My heart worries for the youth of today and the younger generations because there's too many of them. I'll say too many of them are watered down and weak. It's the truth. And if you remove the history, the books, the video of how Martin Luther King and that whole generation and what they did to fight, if you erase that, they will have no blueprint, no clue, no idea of how to fight if we don't teach it to them. And if we try to teach it to them, I don't think they got sense enough to know that they need to listen and learn. Look, I'm not saying Bill Cosby was a saint. He even said he had strayed on his wife. His words, not mine. But I don't believe them 70-something women. Not all of them. Everybody wasn't lying, and everybody wasn't telling you the truth when it came to Bill Cosby and his so-called victims. And I can tell you right now, the victims who were straight up lying, again, it was the victims from 1962, 1963, 64, 68. All those white bitches was lying. Sorry. They were lying. You can't tell me, as they had said, that he raped them, these white women, in the 60s. When we were getting dogs sicked on us and sprayed down with water hoses in the street, just trying to fight to get a job. That Bill Cosby was so powerful that they were scared to tell. White women in the 60s. I don't believe none of those bitches. But it's a design. They took out the most influential Black Americans, tarnished their name, ruined their legacy. So you got Bill Cosby, you got Michael Jackson, and you got Prince. The stuff Prince was doing behind the scene for years, helping a lot of Black people with their causes, Spike Lee included. He would camouflage his benevolence by going to a city to perform. And yes, he loved performing, but his main purpose was to support a cause. We ain't got people like that no more. I keep having this vision I better keep that vision to myself. But because of this vision that I keep having, which is why I'm talking about these certain things, we have to be very careful, be very aware, and don't put nothing past certain administrations, certain people. Don't do it. Don't be naive and say, oh, slavery could never happen again. Slavery's still going on today in America, in the prisons. Slavery by another name, that's all it is. But don't be so naive to think it is clearly impossible that we will not be in shackles and chains again. Or did I say that right? In other words, please don't be naive to think that we cannot be put back in shackles and chains. It's very well possible that we can be back picking cotton, but doing something else other than cotton. But let's just say cotton. We can be back in the fields picking cotton next to people like Beyonce out there picking cotton too, the Jacksons, Obama and Michelle. Oh, y'all don't hear me. Okay. You keep thinking like that. I know after listening to me, you better come up with a plan just in case I'm correct. I know that much. Just in case. That's what I want you to do. Have a plan just in case I'm correct. That's all. I'm asking you to have a plan because I want you to be safe. So just in case Madam Whip-Ass may be correct in her assessment, I need you to have a plan. As fast as Trump is moving with his administration, you see what he's doing in D.C. Look, getting back to the music, hip hop, and what it devolved into. Now we got drill music. And let's go out or up and look at Chicago. When I tell you the generations are weak, they're weak. Because all those boys do is kill each other like they in a video game. The only difference is nobody gets another life. And when I say they're weak to the point that they will quickly blast one of their own. But they're shaking their boots if they had to come up against another kind of man. If you can pick up what I just put down. They're weak. There were so many strong leaders damn near everywhere you looked. Besides Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. So many. There were so many leaders in my community of East Stonehurst, New York. Who were the leaders in your community when you grew up? I'm sure you can name them because they were a very palpable presence in the community. It's not like that anymore. The CIA deliberately injected crack into the black communities all across America. And it has affected us for generations. When I started working in the schools, it was like the first year of the crack babies entering kindergarten. Couldn't sit down for 2 minutes. Couldn't concentrate, couldn't focus. Cycling in their emotions. And you got 5, 6, 7, 8 of those kids in a class of 28. How the hell them teachers were able to teach those kids, I do not know. But I know their asses went home fucking tired every day. I'm going to leave that alone. But I really meant to talk about, there's 2 books I'm trying to make a decision which one to read. One is Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington. Very good book. Booker T. Washington wrote this book, I believe, in the very early 1900s, possibly even beginning in the late 1800s, 1890 something. It was 30 something years after slavery. And he went around America interviewing and talking with the Negro, as we were then. You know, when you met somebody in those days, it wasn't, you know how we say, well, where you from? Oh, I'm from Mechanicsville. You know, where you from? I'm from Brooklyn. Nah, back then, what plantation was you on? I was on the Reynolds plantation. I don't want to give the book away, but I think if you haven't read it, or if you have, you need to hear it again or read it again. So it's between that book and a book called Infallible, written by Tyrone Jock. And it's a book written for men. It's called Infallible, and it's a series of books. I think it's like 4 volumes. Very, very good. A book written for men. And so I'm vacillating back and forth between the two of which book I should read next. Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington, or Infallible. I don't know yet. It probably will be Infallible. So, guys, if you are listening, please share the link when I begin reading it to all of your male relatives and friends, any man that you know, because it was written for you guys. And it's a very good, interesting book. And yeah, I shared some of my fears, if you will. pertaining to the state of America, you should be scared. You should be. I gotta go. Peace.